What's up guys, Clive here once again from Physio Fitness, and today we're going to be talking about abs. Now in today's special and educative video of Physio Fitness, we're going to be discussing about some of the things that I've learned over my years of training as well as coaching, particularly pertaining to the muscles of the abs. So first of all, what are abs? The abs are basically the muscles of the abdomen. That's all your abdominal muscles, not just the rectus abdominis we popularly call the six-pack. So this basically includes your external obliques, your internal obliques that go a little lower towards your hip region. It includes the serratus muscles, which supports your pecs as well as the abs, and even the muscles of your lower back. So all these together make up the abs in a more general sense. Now, regardless of which category you fall under, whether you are a fanatic of the muscle group like myself, or you are just an admirer of aesthetics, or you want to start working out and you have like a goal in mind, you want to build a six-pack, here are some of the things that you should know before or during your training, regardless of your level of expertise. Now, before we go on, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does mean a lot to the channel. Now, number one is that everybody has abdominal muscles. Every single individual, regardless of how big your stomach might look, the muscles are right there. You just can't see it because something is in front of it. But every single individual has these muscles. It just has to do with getting them toned and getting them visible so that people can actually see that they are there. Number two, this is for people that want to start training or that have a goal regarding the form or the shape of the abs. The shape of your abs are basically determined by these things called fascial bands. It's like a connective tissue between muscles. Let me just put it like that. So one fascial band, when you train, has a depression and it becomes like you see like two units of abs. So people with two fascial bands going across their abdomen would have 4-pack. Those with 3 will have a 6-pack, 4, 8, and 5, 10. So these fascial bands are not determined by your training. They are not determined by what you eat. They are completely genetic. They are a constant number that are there completely by nature. That is another thing that you should first establish. Once you have established the kind of abs that you have, the number of bands that you've noticed that you have, this anyways is determined particularly via training, because there is no manual that you go to. There's nothing like a user manual for your own body that you just go and check, okay, this body has so bands and therefore can have so number of abs. There's nothing like that. You have to find out via training, and then you see it quite visually that these are the number of abs you have. Now, once you have noticed that these are the number of abs you have, that is when you can push further. You can push further to improving what you have rather than aiming for what you genetically cannot accomplish. Like I said, everybody has these muscles. So there is nothing like this user does not have this muscle group at all. Everybody has them. Now, I'll tell you a personal story. In 300 level, my 300 level, I was obsessed with the idea of getting an 8-pack. I really wanted one so bad. I did a lot of workouts, particularly for the lower section of the abs. I'll get to how to train abs later on in this video. But I kept on doing this, and at some point, I did develop a 7th pack, which I still have till now. That 7th one is what I was trying to split. I expected that it was going to split. I hadn't come to the realization that this thing is not meant for me, you know. And then one day, one evening like that, there was this anatomy graduate that was around that time. His name was Aima. He's tall, lanky guy like this. He's quite lazy. When you hold his leg for assisted sit-ups, he would struggle to do 5. And on this particular day, Aima, who doesn't walk around shirtless, he always has like a singlet or a shirt on, but on this day, he took his singlet off and I saw with my 2 eyes faint 8-pack. Like it was very faint. You could see that there's like small depression there, and I'm like, guy, do you know you have? And I'm like, can I touch it? Like me, that people used to ask if they can touch my stomach. I'm asking someone else if I can touch it, and when I did touch it, it was so soft. So it's just there, based on he has a very, very low fat distribution. Like I said, he's tall and lanky. That doesn't mean muscular, just lanky. And it was on this day I truly accepted that I have a 7-pack, and I decided to keep working on that 7-pack, and then started aiming for other auxiliary muscles like obliques and serratus. But for those of you who are aiming for a 6, or aiming for an 8, or aiming for 10, you should understand that there is a certain limit that your body has given you that you should be happy with. So the next part of this video, we'll be talking about the importance of the abdominal muscles and why you should even train them at all, why they are such a big deal in the first place. Now, much like any other muscle in the body, it has a function. If it didn't have a function, it wouldn't be there in the first place. Like I said, everybody has got them, regardless of your shape, your stature, or whatever. Everybody has these muscles that do a number of functions. One of the major functions is balance and stability. Whether it's sweeping, whether it's carrying load, the abs are completely and fully involved in stability and balance of the whole body, because it's literally in the center. So it does a lot of balance for your whole body. Another benefit of training abs, or function of abs, is particularly in women, pregnant women to be more specific. During pregnancy, some of them complain of lower back pain, and like I said, the abs entail not just the muscles in front, but all the way to the lower back. So the stronger your abdominal muscles are, the less the pain. So it helps to mitigate and reduce pains of lower back. Another very obvious benefit of training abs are the aesthetics, because it looks good. On the next section of this video, we'll be talking about how to train abs. Now, this is where the expertise comes in. Now, because the abs are just really one giant muscle group, it's a little complicated to focus on. So the best way to train abs is what I like to call divide and conquer. So I divide the abs into basically 4 different sections. So I have the upper abs, the lower abs, and then the 2 sides. So that's the best way I train abs. I treat every single portion as its own muscle group. It's like the way I want to target biceps, and I have bicep exercises. If I want to target triceps, I have tricep exercises. But this one, I have upper ab exercises, I have lower ab exercises. It's the lower ab exercises I was doing so much back when I was hunting for the 8-pack, because I know that the 7 and 8 are below the belly button. So I also have the ones for the side, ab exercises that target oblique muscles particularly. So I'm going to give like 1 or 2 examples, and of course some of these are in my videos. You can check out the basic, intermediate and advanced ab workout routine that are all on the channel. I'll leave links to those in the description of this video. But let me give an example. So for the upper abs, I love to do this 90-degree crunches. So when you do them correctly, you feel the strain just on your first 4. for those of you who have visible abs. Those of you who do not have visible abs, you feel them, you will shall feel them because the muscle is there. You feel them on the upper part of your stomach. That's where the bone is. So that's where these 90-degree or chair crunches come into play. Now for the lower abs, you want to do exercises that entail your legs coming up to your body. So you've got leg raises, you have reverse crunches, you have certain variations of scissors kicks and flutter kicks. But basically anything that entails the lower abs is your legs coming to the rest of your body. And next we move on to the side abs, aka the obliques. Now training obliques is basically like training unilateral muscles. Unilateral muscle groups like your hands, training one hand after the other, training one leg, then the other. So when you are training your obliques, you do one side and then you do the other. You can't just do a number of reps on one side and be like, oh, I'm done. No, there are two. If you do one side and don't do the other side, then there is an imbalance. And then you'll be sexy on one side and not sexy on the other. And nobody wants that. Now, some of the exercises that I personally like to do for my obliques are number one, the side elbow plank. I also love doing jackknife crunches. We also have side crunches or any crunch variation that you choose to do on one side before another. So those are the four categories I like to split my abs when I train: the upper, the lower, the left, and the right. Now, personally, when I train, I like to add a fifth exercise, but this exercise is not dependent on division. It's just for overall stability. Now, these exercises are mostly isometric holds. Isometric holds such as the plank, whether full plank or elbow plank, or the U-boat pose, both of which I have tutorials for on the channel. And I always do this one last after hitting all four. So it's my fifth and it's my closing exercise for a full ab set. In summary, a classic ab set for me is made up of 5 exercises. The first is to target the upper. The second and third are for the left and right. And then the fourth is for the lower. And then the fifth is everything together. So I do one hold or another. Now, another point I want to make with regards to how I train abs, it's advisable to do it at the end of your workout because the training abs tends to sap a lot of energy from you. It tends to sap a lot of energy from you. So it's a normal thing. It has nothing to do with how lazy you are or how strong you are. Generally, ab exercises tend to sap a lot of energy from you. So it's not advisable to start a full body circuit with ab training. Now, I hope you've learned a thing or two about how and why you should train abs from just watching this video. Now, if you are interested in training abs and having your own personal set of a sexy six-pack, Physio Fitness now offers a 30-day ab training program. To register for this program, you can find the link to the Google form to register in the description of this video. Feel free to reach out to me for any questions. Let me know in the comment section if you have any experiences regarding any of these things that I've listed in this video. If you've ever tried to train abs and whatever difficulties that you've had in your own personal fitness journey. So I do hope that I have inspired you to take your ab training much more seriously. And if you already do train abs, to take your ab training much more technically. As always, please remember to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and share this video to anybody you think needs to understand how training abs really works. As always, I will see you guys next week. Stay fit, stay healthy, mad love, peace.